Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel once again for another Walking Dead video. Today we're going to be talking about some Walking Dead stuff, of course. The rumors are flying like they always are, and the speculation and theories out there. People are kind of going nuts over this latest thing that's come out. But to kind of give you a basis of what's going on, here lately, JDM made a post on his Instagram advertising this Paley Live. It's going to be at the Paley Museum there in New York on April 30th. So just a week roughly before the premiere of Season 2 of Dead City. And of course, some other people are going to be there to do panels and whatnot, and they're going to have probably a bunch of other stuff going on. But he went on, and we're always wondering where the state of Walking Dead is as far as spinoffs, as far as what's the ultimate goal there for Walking Dead to wrap up any lingering stories or lingering characters and whatnot. But things are looking kind of grim, honestly. And I did a video here recently, and I'll kind of go into a little bit more in this one too. But JDM made this post on his Instagram saying, "And so it begins, maybe not begins, continues, ends. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe a hint." So what's he hinting at here? Is he hinting that he is leaving? Walking Dead? Is the show ending altogether? What's going on here? And this kind of comes on the tails of the news. I did a video last week, and I'll kind of cover it again. But Eli Journay, who is the writer, executive producer, showrunner for Dead City right now, is supposed to be leaving. He's going to go do the show called Severance, and I guess he is leaving either at the end of this season or maybe the end of next season. But it looks like Dead City might actually get canceled, or at very least, Jeffrey D. Morgan's going to kind of wrap up his character and be heading out the door. So what's this mean for the future of Walking Dead? Well, right now we don't know. We don't know what's going on with it. So you have Daryl Dixon hopping all over the world, not really providing any kind of real story, honestly. It's just him kind of regurgitating the same story over and over and over, whereas Dead City was kind of a more interesting story going on. We had development of character, we had development of things from the past, revisiting things without getting too much into it, without relying too much on the nostalgia of it all, with the reveal that last season Croat is actually a former savior, and he's kind of more or less reinvented the saviors. And this is something that he is trying to lead, with Dama actually really leading the show, trying to bring New York back to life, trying to unite all the gangs and all this, and the whole thing about bringing Negan back into it to be the ultimate leader, to be the guy that he was, even though we know that he is not that guy anymore. He doesn't want to be that guy. And on top of that, again, with Eli Journay leaving, this is, could they bring in someone else and have someone else do a show run, do the EP, do the writing and everything? Well, there is that option, but then you risk the chance of doing exactly what they did on Fear, which was basically ruin that show, bringing in a certain pair of writers that no one liked. Their stories were atrocious, and the direction of the show just went completely downhill, with the occasional kind of up bump where we saw stories and characters that we actually liked. But for the most part, the show went to shit, and we were grateful that it ended. Now, we don't want Dead City to go this way, but we don't want it to be canceled either, because Jeffrey Morgan and Lauren Cohan did go on multiple occasions to say that they have at least a 3 to 5 year plan. So is the plan being cut short, or are they just saying, kind of fuck it, and they're going to bring in someone else, and just it's going to be a completely different vision than what we started with? So there's always that possibility. I really hope it doesn't go that route, because I'm not a fan of the way Fear ended. It was a terrible show. I stuck with it for the sole purpose of seeing how it ended. So you have to wonder too, is Dead City ending? Does that kind of axe any plans as far as potential guest stars that were in the works of being brought on board for season 3? And a big one I wanted to talk about would be Jensen Ackles. There was this whole big rumor, of course, I did a video about it, where he was in talks to come on board and do a part in season 3. There was no details or anything like that. There was just the rumor that he was in talks and discussions were being had and whatnot. So does it kind of axe plans like that? Will we not see that happen now? Will this kind of just be the slow swan song of these particular characters? Will they go as far as to kill Negan off, or will he ride off into the sunset with his wife and daughter, or wife and son, I mean? And will that be the end of that, or will they actually follow through with their plans? And this is what I hope they do, that they take Daryl Dixon for the crap show that it really kind of is. Honestly, I hate to say it. I don't come here to shit on Walking Dead or Daryl Dixon or any of these characters, but just the quality of the show has not been what I would hope it would be. But I'm hoping that they have plans to eventually get Daryl home, whether that be another season or two. Kind of take the same angle with Dead City, sprinkling in some cameos here and there, and then coming to a point where they have kind of a crossover reunion episode or reunion branch of those series where they just bring them together, and then they bring back Rick, they bring back Morgan, they bring back Dwight to kind of settle his differences with Negan, to see that he has changed, he's not that same guy anymore, and to all out forgive him would be the ultimate kind of goal for his character, and it would just kind of bring things full circle. And kind of the same thing with Rick. Bring him back to see that Negan's not that guy anymore, and just kind of nix all of these storylines and plot lines and characters and everything else that were kind of ignored over the years, and bring it all together, close it out, call it a day. But it looks like they're not going to do that.
What the hell is this?
In fact, it looks like Scott Gimple is going to do the complete opposite, which is not surprising. He wants to bring back Tales of the Walking Dead for whatever goddamn reason. But he did an interview with Screen Rant here recently, and he goes on to give this kind of long-ass quote, but I'll read it anyways. He says, "I'm desperate to do more of those. We don't have any imminent plans to do it, but I'm constantly bringing it up. It's a more challenging show because of the variety, because you're starting at zero every episode. So that's one thing that's sort of slowing it down a little bit, but I always keep it in the mix as a possibility. We can only do so many Walking Dead shows, Walking Dead hours a year, but to me, I think that's a layup. I think everyone wants to see more stories of it, and I think we just totally scratched the surface of it. And on top of that, I really want to see more of the characters from the past. I know the audience does too, or things that were referred to in the past that we never saw. So I'm determined to have it come back, and it's a very easy show to come back to. There's no, we didn't end on a cliffhanger, so I think it's a possibility. So it's just infuriating at this point. Just what is the point of it all, really? What are they trying to do? And we get a show that we actually halfway enjoy with interesting characters, and kind of delving back into the past of Negan, just seeing more of that savior history, seeing certain characters of that history did survive. They went on to start their own thing, even though yes, they're kind of the pawn in the whole situation. But to see this whole big story kind of developing, and then now there's a possibility that it's going to get cut short, and we're going to get some half-ass ending, and people are just going to be like, what the fuck? And that's just been kind of the general attitude and the general question about Walking Dead. What the fuck? What the fuck are they trying to do? What is the story here? What is the point? Where are they going with it all? And it looks like it's just to run it into the ground and then call it a day, because they don't have any real plans to really give us the full circle moments that we all want to see. And they're just going to keep recycling ideas. They're going to give us stories that we don't want to see, bring back these shows that were atrocious to begin with. And then there's always also the talk of additional spin-offs being done kind of just all over the world. So that's just kind of my rant for the day. I want to talk about that, and just, the general worrying and general kind of, what the hell is going on with all? What are they trying to accomplish? But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, come back for more Walking Dead content just like this, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.